Russia's advance accelerates on the eastern fronts, as Ukraine is losing their best defense. It's day 903 of Russia's operation in Ukraine. Let's dive deeper. Against the backdrop of the Kursk offensive, Russians are having massive success on the eastern front. In this report, we will cover several fronts, but first starting from the Kupiansk front. Here, as you know, Russian forces are advancing from Pishtchene in several directions. However, their major objective is to reach the Oskol River by advancing along the lower elevated positions and take the heights north of Pishtchene and pressure the Ukrainians into Avdiivka and Kislivka. I already explained the scenario and how it may move further in one of my previous reports. Now, in the last couple of days, Russian forces have made significant advances. North of Pishtchene, after gaining a foothold at the heights, they started advancing towards the Ukrainian position near Avdiivka and towards Kupiansk. This had a massive effect on the Ukrainians near Avdiivka, as their rear was compromised. Recently it was confirmed, Russians were able to take this area under their control. Looking at the topographic map, we can see they have taken most of their heights under the control. Now they will likely follow the heights and attack rear of Ukrainians near Kislivka. However, considering the strength of both the garrison is the same, progress will continue at the similar pace. In addition, we have some movements south of Berestov. Recently, Russian forces started attacking along the heights. It was confirmed that they were able to take this area under their control. Now moving to the Toretsk sector. Here Russians were able to make a bridgehead and collapse the Ukrainian flank. Previously, we saw how Russians were preparing to launch their main forces on the city. For this, they were attacking these Tarakhans and its surrounding areas. At Pivnikne, after the Russian forces captured the urban areas west of Sumy, they launched a big push along the highway. After a couple of days of intense fighting, it was recently reported they were able to penetrate the Ukrainian defense and took this area under their control. With this advance, they entered the first houses of the city. Currently, they are attacking in order to expand this bridgehead. It is also expected Russian units will increase pressure from the Zalizny axis as well. However, by far the biggest change came from the southern flank. As Russians were expanding this bridgehead, Ukrainian forces entrenched here were in compromised positions, as the gap was slowly closing. I suggested their task was to slow the Russians so that they could prepare the city for the defense. However, according to the latest report, this entire front collapsed in 24 hours, as Ukrainian forces withdrew from this area. As a result, it has now come under Russian control. With this advance, Ukraine has lost their valuable defense and likely southern flank. Russian sources say New York will fall shortly, as they are now attacking it from several directions. Now moving to Avdiivka sector. Previously, we saw how Russian forces captured the entire defense belt. The only village remaining was half of Ivanivka. In several of my previous reports I said, as this was the last dense defensive belt, losing this would mean very bad news for Ukraine. And it seems like we are already seeing the glimpses. Russian forces launched a final push on remaining parts of Ivanivka. Recently it was confirmed they were able to take full control of the village, after which the big push towards Avdiivka began. First objective was to capture trenches along the outskirts of the town. Today it was confirmed they were able to take this area under their control. With this advance, they have now entered Avdiivka and also captured Sviridanivka. This advance was confirmed, as a Ukrainian drone was shelling Russians here. Russian sources say Ukraine is doing everything to stabilize the advance. However, many Ukrainian units are not happy with the Kursk offensive, and resources being diverted. Subscribe for more frontline updates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.